Oh, hey everybody, it's March 2nd. It's a Saturday. I had to work and that was pretty painful. So let's just cut to the chase. I'm going to do some comic book reviews. And start with the Last Hunt, Predator number 1. Um, these Marvel Predator comics, they're okay. Like, um, I mean, Dark Horse had Predator for the longest time, and theirs weren't the greatest either, but that first series, I have the collection, and they're pretty good. Those first, like, couple of years they would do, like, 4 issues, stories each. And they introduced, Dutch's brother, John, his older brother, who was a New York cop, some big city cop, and I was like, whoa, I mean, I remember who's gonna like, you can't make that in the movie. Who's Arnold's older brother that like he looked up to? They said like Dutch looked up to his brother John. So I kind of didn't like the art, but they start out with the Predator just going to a planet and hunting these aliens, and I was like, that's what I've always wanted to see. Just no humans in a Predator comic. But it doesn't last long, and then you find out like they show these Predators and they're humans in Predator armor, and I was like, oh, it's so lame. And it's this girl Theta, she's hunting Predators that killed her parents, and I was, she was in the first story that the Marvel did. And I was like, okay, it's not bad, but it's not great. But on the last page, it has John Schaefer. And I was like, it's gotta be the Shame John from the Dark Horse, right? And he's even kind of like the same shirt on. So that really like intrigued me. I was like, and then the second issue has like John is killing, or he looks like he's gonna kill Theta. So I was like, wow, that's awesome. If they were able, I mean, I guess if they're able to use John Schaefer, bring him back, I was like, I'll buy the rest of them. But what I really want to talk about is Fire and Ice Teegra. So I was just messaging my friend Thomas, telling him about Fables, because, and this video is for all the Jameses out there, because my friend James told me about Fables, and I bought Fire and Ice. I didn't even snap to who was writing it, and when I saw Bill Willingham's name, I was like, dude, this is probably the best comic, or at least my favorite comic that I'm reading right now, and probably the best comic on the stands. Actually, that's between Stan, good old smiling Stan doing Usagi, but this is like a one shot. Man, only 2 issues of Fire and Ice have come out, but this one's about Teegra, and I love the title. It's Everybody Loves Teegra. And hell yeah, like, if you've seen Fire and Ice, the Teegra is just smoking hot piece of ass, man. And it starts out, it's called Chapter 1, in which Teegra takes her leave. So you just see her, she's in the jungle, and like a giant dinosaur comes out. And in the animated movie, she has a Black Panther with her, and you find out his name, Shaitan. He's just in the movie for like 10 seconds, and Bill Willingham like fleshes him out too. So Teegra, like her father, the king of the Firekeep, like he wants to keep um, the peace between Firekeep and Ice Kingdom. So they're gonna. He's oh no, he wants to marry Teegra to another like kingdom that can be allies with to fight the Ice Kingdom. So as soon as Teegra finds out, she decides to run away. And there's this. What's so good about Bill Willingham? He just expands on everything. So her brother, Taro, who doesn't get much characterization in the movie, he's in Teegra's room with her teacher. What's her name? Her tutor. What's her name? Just look at that ass, man. No wonder Prince Taro is after that. Name's like Leon, I think. And they're making out, and then Teegra busts in, and she doesn't even notice that like they're messing around. Like Teegra's like, Taro, I can't say I'm surprised to see you here. He's like, I'm not. I wasn't. I mean to say, why aren't you surprised to see me, sister? And she just doesn't even catch on that her tutor and her brother are banging like crazy. And then she even tells her tutor, so he didn't bother you, did he? While he was waiting here for me, and the girl's like, no. And Teegra's like, I know he can be a pest sometimes, but don't worry, he's harmless as a kitten. And like, she has no idea what they're doing. So she runs away, and then her tutor tells her dad, and Teegra like takes all his stuff with her, and but like in the first issue of Fire and Ice, you find out like Teegra's mother is like some wild woman from the jungle, so she's taught Teegra how to survive. But Teegra's like, she's like half civilized, half wild, but she still doesn't know how to really survive in the jungle by herself, I guess. She even says something. So I can always hear Mother scolding me. And then she gets to the point, she's like, okay, I've made my point, I'll go home now. And then they show, and then chapter 2, in which the world has gone out. No, in which the word has gone out and some of what happened as a result. So there's all these other princes of different kingdoms in the Fire and Ice world. They're like, well, I'm going to save Teegra, and I'll marry her, and we'll strengthen our kingdoms. And then there's one, they're like little people. And this guy's like, I'm going to save her. And his dad's like, if so, describe to me the mechanics of the wedding night. He's like, you may have a point, Dad. And he says, climb down from there and go visit Mary Blossom. Remember how you've been sweethearts since hatching. And then this guy actually saves Teegra. And I was like, man, he looks cool. And then he takes off his helmet, and he's not the most handsome gentleman you've ever seen. And in chapter 3, in which we witness a homecoming and one of its effects. So that guy brings Teegra home, and then her dad says that they've actually decided that her brother Taro, he's gonna marry a princess and strengthen their kingdoms. And then the girl, I guess Leanne, and she's all heartbroken, and she tells Taro, she's all, congratulations, I hear she's lovely. And he whispers, like, I was going to tell you, but I couldn't find the words. And with the distractions of searching for Teegra, and she's all, don't worry, what's best for the realm is best for all within. What we hoped for was just a fantasy, a silly dream we shared before each of us had to wake and resume our adult lives. And then Teegra, she just grabs her to her and she's all, "Don't look so sad. I'm fine, as you can see. Did you miss me terribly? Of course you did. It shows. Come along and I'll tell you everything what happened." I just love how Teegra she's just oblivious and just kind of self-centered, and but then her tutor is like just like totally shattered. Man, she's hot, man. Man. So, also, I've never, man, this Fire and Ice is so good. I'm contemplating maybe getting some Red Sonja and Vampirella and November, but they're not going to be as good as this. But I can't think of anything, any movie or TV show that has ever actually benefited from a comic book or a novelization. Because now this is, like, I love Fire and Ice animated film, and this has totally opened up that world even further. And next time I watch a Fire and Ice, I'm going to be thinking about like all this backstory stuff. Like usually that's like superfluous, doesn't matter, but this seems pretty concrete to me. Jarro, I think that's her father's name, King Jarro. Dude, if they did a King Jarro comic or Taro, but what we really need is Lauren. Dude, we need a Black Wolf. I mean, I keep calling Dark Wolf. We need a Dark Wolf limited series. Great cover. I give this one shot, just like a 4. It made me pull out the first 2 issues of Fire and Ice, and I don't know what's taking this comic so long to come out. This is a different artist than from the regular series, but after a couple of pages, I was like, man, this guy's good. He draws asses like a maniac. And definitely Frazetta influenced. So, if you can't buy the Fire and Ice comic, just check out the movie. And I need to review that, and I want to talk about the first 2 issues. So maybe tomorrow, if I'm not too drunk, I'll see ya.